Smiles are nearly woven into the DNA of the Duggar family in their glossy, God-fearing society. The Duggar family has an unwavering reputation for happiness, whether they're all dressed identically around the kitchen table or strutting through yet another episode of Counting On that has courtship hints and the announcement of baby names. However, viewers have picked up on something strange, particularly involving Josiah Duggar. His grins tend to be tense. He seems to be acting out his laughs. Strangely, his Instagram photos have a very warm vibe about them. Many are wondering, as the Duggar globe continues to spin, whether Josiah Duggar is actually happy or if he is just programmed to be. Give that camera a look, dude. Looking back, we can see how Josiah's public joy had its start. Growing up in the spotlight was second nature for Josiah Duggar, the eighth child of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. Growing up, he saw his parents' reality TV show, 19 Kids and Counting, which shaped his and his siblings' identities. Strict rules were enforced. It was wrong to rebel. Also, you had to smile constantly. You could tell Josiah was different, remarked an unnamed former production assistant from the early days of TLC. Compared to the other boys, he was quiet. Sharp and perceptive, he felt rather confined. It was as if he could flick a switch to turn on the cameras. That cheerful, almost self-conscious Duggar smile? He was an expert at it. Robotic joy, however, does not develop in a day. It is produced gently, in a low voice, and gradually, disguising obedience as joy. The Duggar blueprint. You must grasp the mechanism underlying Josiah's smile in order to comprehend it. Under the leadership of the notorious Bill Gothard and the Institute for Basic Life Principles (IBLP), the Duggars adhered to a rigid theological ideology. The IBLP stressed the need of self-control, humility, masculine leadership, and authority. In addition to being taught what to think, children were also taught how to think and how to maintain a grin no matter what. Biblical scripture was encased in punishment. Feelings of spiritual weakness were associated with negative emotions. Reputation held immense value. It was everything scripted and approved, from courtships to parenting. Because of his penchant for witty remarks and jokes, Josiah was labeled as the funny one. In this kingdom, even the clown must follow the rules. Being funny and being free are two different things, remarked an old acquaintance of the family. If anyone were to defy convention, it would have been Josiah. However, he ceased making an effort at some point. The initial indications of discontent? After shocking fans in 2015 with his romance of Marjorie Jackson, Josiah ended the relationship quickly afterward. In Duggar territory, this is an unusual decision. A courtship is like a marriage in progress. The split, which was accompanied by courteous press releases and quotations from godly wisdom, symbolized a fleeting moment of autonomy. However, the flicker didn't last long. 2018 marked the beginning of Josiah's courtship to Lauren Swanson. They tied the knot within a few months. The episode of Counting On that featured the wedding was filled with all of the typical Duggar elements, including side embraces, Bible quotations, and Josiah's face sporting a smile that was excruciatingly tight. At that time, viewers became aware of it. A slight lack of firmness. Unease is present. There was a commenter on Reddit who said in a Duggarsark thread, "It was like watching someone act in a movie they didn't audition for. All of the things that he says are correct. But there is nothing hidden from view." The disappearing act and the concept of fatherhood. After experiencing a miscarriage, Josiah and Lauren were able to become parents to their daughter, Bella, in the year 2019. The news that they made was heartfelt and emotional. On the other hand, something altered not long after Bella was born. Despite the fact that Josiah and Lauren were formerly featured prominently on the show and on social media, they have completely vanished from the public eye. There was no activity on their Instagram profiles. The appearances of the family ceased. In the final episodes of Counting On TLC, they were barely mentioned at all. In spite of the fact that they were present at key Duggar events, they were either absent or did not participate at all. Some people believed that they were taking a step back in order to safeguard their daughter. Others murmured about their dissatisfaction with the fate that the family followed or the fissures that appear in their marriage. While everything was going on, Josiah maintained the same smile. Same posture with the chin elevated. Similar tone of robotics. Only now did the smile appear to be more weighty. Even off-screen, there is a lot of pressure to perform. Even when the cameras are turned off, being a Duggar does not end. Those with knowledge of the situation claim that members of the family are still required to adhere to particular behaviors, even when they are in private life. Regardless of whether you're filming or not, you are still a Duggar, remarked a relative who wished to remain unidentified. In the eyes of Josiah, this entails protecting not only his own reputation but also the image of the Duggar family as a whole. To be a faithful spouse, a present father, a spiritual leader, and a living, talking, smiling ambassador of Duggar principles, he must adhere to all of these requirements, despite the fact that he no longer has faith in them. A close member of the family shared their opinion. I honestly believe that Josiah has been struggling with belief. You can see the flaws in his character, even if he is not outspoken or furious. The number of times he cites scripture is limited. He is more subdued. But he is aware of the consequences that would result from him expressing his true feelings. As a result, he smiles instead. Supporter or silent sufferer? What does Lauren Swanson say? Afterwards, there is Lauren. Despite the fact that she is frequently portrayed as being kind and soft-spoken, she has also been the target of great curiosity. Many of her followers have referred to her as uncomfortable on camera and anxious, particularly while she was being interviewed with Josiah concurrently. A clip from the sitcom Counting On shows Lauren recounting a moment of postpartum agony while Josiah grins in an inappropriate manner. A number of viewers took it to mean that he was being dismissive. However, others are now wondering whether or not that chuckle was just another component of the mask. As one of Lauren's fans put it on the internet, if Josiah feels trapped, Lauren might too. She is young, married into a family that has a lot of authority, and she has a child that is frequently in the public eye. It's possible that she has a smile that's just as mechanical as his. Since the departure of both Lauren and Josiah from social media, neither of them has publicly addressed the claims or provided any updates. Their lack of noise conveys a great deal. Comparing personality and programming, it is not scandal that constitutes the true tragedy of Josiah Duggar. Suppression is the term. No, he is not throwing tantrums in public or writing memoirs that reveal everything. He is not launching an assault on his family or divulging any dark secrets. The thing that he is doing, which is silent and continuous, is concealing himself. Following the formulas. Regarding the doctrine. Behind the smile that never seems to leave. Fans are taking notice of this. In a post on X, which was formerly known as Twitter, a fan said, "I do not want Josiah to rebel. It's just that I want him to be honest. It would be wonderful if he was truly content. On the other hand, if he isn't, thank God. I pray that he escapes before it's too late." There is hope beyond the smile. It is simple to reduce the Duggar children to the headlines that are associated with their family. On the other hand, behind every Instagram post and courtship is a genuine person who has been molded by adversity, pressure, and frequently, an intense yearning to be a part of something. In the case of Josiah, the path to authenticity might not appear to be that spectacular. Perhaps it does not involve abandoning one's religious beliefs or exploding on social media. It could be as simple as letting go of the smile. It could be any number of human moments. Recognizing that he is exhausted. Moving away from the script and into his own life is something he is doing. Because genuine happiness is not something that can be manufactured. This is a mess. Stumble occurs. It is not usually included with a ring light and a caption when you purchase it. Presumably, Josiah is already aware of this. Who knows, maybe that's why he's been so silent. He is not content because he is constructing something new. Rather, he is building something new. Away from the camera. Off the script. Yet away from the commotion. If this is the case, then it is possible, just a possibility, that Joshua Duggar is at last locating his way back to his family.